Awesome. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are excited. If you are watching us live on Facebook or you're tuning in on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or any of the amazing platforms where you listen to your podcast, we are so excited to have you guys here. And I'm going to introduce our special guest, Sadiq, today, all the way from London. It's almost bedtime for you, right, Sadiq?
Hey, it's not bedtime. It's around 7, just after 7 p.m. here, but
Oh,
it's getting there.
all right. Well, it's about party time, right? It's
Yep,
Friday
yep,
night.
that's it.
Okay, okay.
That's
I've
it.
got little kids, so I'm like, it must be evening time for you. Well, let me tell them all about you, and then we'll have our conversation. You guys, we are so excited to have Sadiq as our special guest today on the Becoming Your Best podcast. I'm Lauren Sweeney. I'm your host today. Whether you're listening live or watching us, we are excited. So he's a speaker. He's a content creator, a YouTuber, a podcast host as well. And I know we were just saying that Netta was on your podcast, our
Yeah,
CEO. He has topics that are like-minded with what we talk about: personal growth, mindset, and confidence. Hello, this is Rise Up for You. You are in the perfect place to be speaking with our audience. Sadiq wishes to touch as many people's hearts as he can through whichever form of communication best reaches them. I love that because people learn in different modalities. And so you want to be able to be there with them
exactly.
in whatever matters most to them. You guys, he was shy before. I'm not sure if I believe that, but I get it. And now
Better believe
he,
it, Lauren.
but now he's trained himself to become a very confident ambivert who shares his passion with the world and shows up every single day. He believes we're all here as servant leaders and guides with each other to move each other on the right path towards greatness. I know we're going to talk about upgrading our mindset and all the things. Let's give a warm round of applause to Sadiq. Welcome from the UK.
Hey, thank you so much, Lauren. I'm so grateful to be on the show. I'm honored, and I'm just so thankful that I get the opportunity to add some love and some energy and some good vibes to your audience and to everyone watching or listening.
I love it. We're excited to have you here. All of the things you talk about in your bio. And, we always ask our guests, what are 3 to 5 topics you want to talk about? I was like, oh, yeah, check, check, check. I think we should talk about all of them. So, how did you get in this space, working in confidence and mindset and all the things? Tell me.
So my journey started on the 12th of September 2014 at 5:37 p.m.
Wow.
Specifically on that day, at that time, when a friend
Wow.
of mine showed me or shared like a book with me that completely changed my mind, my life, my perspective, everything. And it's a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's where it all started for me. He
Yeah.
showed me one page from that book around mindset and and
What we
the cash
think.
flow quadrant, and
Mhm.
bazinga, like I just had a huge shift. Like everything changed, and I was like, holy crap, no one has ever taught me this in my life, of going to school and getting education and like doing what my parents have taught me, but no one's taught me like how I can go and like do my own business and follow your purpose and your passion or mindset. And these words were like alien to me. I didn't even know what personal development was. Like, what's that? And so he shared that with me on that day, and it just completely blew my mind. And the rest didn't stop from that day. So post that day, I started my personal growth journey. And then it took me about a year and a bit, I would say like a year and a half, where I dived deep into personal growth, books, development, events, seminars, online events, and just things, anything that I can just like learn from these wise people. Because at that time I was like 21. I'm 28 now. So that was over 6 years ago. And I was just like blown away by these amazing, wise people teaching me stuff about life and business and mindset and how I can actually go and achieve my dreams. And nobody in my life at the time was telling me, hey, Sadiq, like, what are your dreams and how are you going to go and get them? They were teaching me, go to school, get a good education, get a good job, and go work in the bank, as I did. And it just wasn't fulfilling me. It wasn't making me happy. It wasn't really making me, it wasn't my purpose, that's not what I wanted to do. And so fast forward now, like now I did a TED talk, and I became super confident through the growth journey, through having mentors and coaches myself, through just diving deep into doing things that I didn't even like to do, like reading books. Lauren, I don't really like reading books. I'm not gonna lie, that's the truth. I don't like reading books. I know people love it, but I'm a visual learner, which is why I love podcasts, which is why I love watching videos and learning, or being
Yes.
physically at an event and then taking the value and changing my life from taking
There's
action what I learn.
there's this exchange of energy when we're listening, and I'm the same way. I want to listen to my book on Audible. I
Exactly.
want to watch it on a YouTube channel. I want the energy of the person. I'm very much that way too.
Yeah, definitely. And that's me. Like I love being part, like I already have a lot of natural crazy energy. So when people say, "Hey Sadiq, how do you stay so positive all the time?" I'm just like, listen, it's hard. It's not easy. And I'm not positive 24/7. Nobody is. None of us are perfect. But the only thing about the difference between me and you probably is that I was just naturally gifted with a lot of energy. Just while I was born, I've just always had a lot of energy. I was always the sports guy. I was always jumping up and down. I share my fitness journey like every Monday with everybody all over my social media. And they're like, you're like, I've got called so many names, Lauren. I've got called Action Man and like Rambo and Terminator and like
Wow.
Frog Man and like I've been called Monkey the Monkey Man.
I guess I'm gonna have to check out your fitness journey. I like CrossFitting and yoga and things like that, but sounds like this is a whole nother level. So
I hope that my Monday videos can keep you inspired to continue moving your body, because that's my
love it.
whole gist of why I share that. Just to
Wow.
encourage people that when I started personal growth and when I started business and when I truly found my purpose, I understood that our life is all about body, mind, and spirit. So
Yes.
then I start tapping into all of those aspects of my life, and that's why I'm able to be super confident today and give that energy and support
Amazing.
people and coach people and mentor them to go and find their purpose and to take action on it, which is what I'm all about. Like consistently take action and you'll find your purpose.
Uh, I love that idea of constantly moving our bodies. So we have to check that out. How do we find it? How do we find your Monday
Oh, so I post it on,
motivation?
it's on my YouTube channel. Coach
Okay,
Sadiq is on every platform. So anybody
awesome.
listening or watching, you can find any of my piece of content on any platform. Everywhere is Coach Sadiq.
Coach Sadiq.
And
It's
yeah,
SADIQ for those of you
right.
that are listening. And then I love this idea of keep getting into action and then you'll find the passion. What does success mean to you?
That's a great question. And I think that's something that a lot of people always like tap into. I think for me, success in the most simplest form, not to overcomplicate and not to overthink it. For me, success is just doing what I love when I want, with who I want, whenever I want. So I think it doesn't have to be a thing. It doesn't have to be materialistic. I think success for every single person in the world, the meaning of it, the definition is different. For me, success is just being happy, doing something that you just love every day, even if you're not making money from it. People are a little bit confused. They think that success means having, being a billionaire, being a quadrillionaire, like someone told me on the new app Hi Ho the other day. I want to be a quadrillionaire. I was like, damn, that's a big dream. I
You're
love
like,
it. I was like, whoa, that's huge. And I'm all for you, man. I'm giving you my love and energy. Hope you go and crush it. But why? Why do you want to be the quadrillionaire? Is what I asked that lady. Because I like talking about, I like going deeper and really understanding people's whys. Because when we talk and have this communication, which is why I love podcasts, we're able to share and communicate with someone watching or listening to us right now, somewhere across the globe, where they can take our energy, they can take the love, and they can take the wisdom, and hopefully go and implement it into their life. The problem is that most people take a lot of like the personal growth junkies, right? They learn and learn and learn and learn and learn and learn, but they just never act. They just never go and do. And so the reason why I always talk about consistently taking action is because I did that for over 5 years, Lauren. I started my kind of social media journey where it all started for me. I took out my phone one day on Snapchat at the time, and I just thought, I learned so much in this 1.5 years of my growth journey. I want to share some of this stuff. Why am I being selfish? Why am I keeping it to myself? I really want the world to know about this stuff, because I'm sure there's people like me in the world right now that don't know about mindset and personal growth. They don't even have a clue what that is, just the way I didn't. I'm sure there's people in the world that are super shy even listening to this. Your audience all know that they come here every week because they want to gain more confidence, right? Like that's what Nada is all about. She's confidence. She's
yes,
like the confidence queen. I love her.
yes.
And she's genuinely always sharing content around how can you find more confidence. Well, the truth is, first you got to do the inner work, which is the personal growth, the development, the self-help, the coaches and the mentors, and the investing in yourself. Then you got to go act on all these things that you learn. Then the results come. But you got to be consistent, and that's the thing that most people suck at. they're not very consistent. They do it one day, just like the gym, right? People join the gym in January, 2 weeks later, they already quit. Because it's hard. It's not easy. So success is not easy. That's the other thing. It's super hard, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of patience and a lot of perseverance, and you got to have a really resilient mindset, but you kind of learn that along the journey. So that's why I always tell people, take one step every day, just one step. The
Yes.
first step today.
I love that. What's your next best step? We'll often ask our clients, what is your next best step? And then sometimes they'll say, well, I don't know. And then as a good coach, instead of giving them the answer, we'll say, well, if you did know, what would it be? Because we have the answers inside of us. We just need someone to talk it through with, and someone that either has been there or is going through it right now. Let's talk about consistency. What would you say could support people listening or watching in being more consistent? Because exactly right. Most gyms are like all excited in January. They have all these members, except maybe in this past year. And
Yeah,
then, come February, all those members have already given up on their New Year's resolutions.
exactly. So my take on that will be, I always tell people to become a student of your calendar, meaning like have everything written down out clear in front of you in the calendar. Like I'm a student of my, exactly. I love it, Lauren, because I think you
I'm
see
on
what,
it.
even the fact that you just showed that to everybody, for those watching, it's just so, isn't it just so powerful having that in front of you every day? For me, it's on my phone because I live on my phone. Like
Yes.
I coach people on my phone. I'm putting content on my phone. I'm a creator,
Yes.
constantly on my
Well, and if
phone.
people are listening, I do everything on my phone as well, but then I love a paper calendar, and I love to use highlighters and markers to cross things off as well, because it gives our brain a little shot of happiness. It's scientifically proven. You get a little bit of dopamine in there, a little you're like, your brain is like, ooh, shiny colors. And
Yep.
yes, it's totally superficial. Yes, it's not actually, but it really does make us happy. These little things make us happy, and then it keeps us more productive and alive.
100%. I love that. And like you said, when you cross it off, don't you feel so good? Like you crossed it off, or you put a little tick there, like, yes, I did that task. It's just the best feeling. And as you said in the beginning, Lauren, around like how we all learn differently. You see, the fact that you write and I use my phone more doesn't mean that like, oh, I'm why are you doing it the wrong way? You should it's scientifically
Totally.
proven. You should do it on like paper as well. No, it's like you still do things the way you want to do it. Don't ever let anyone else force you or tell you should do it like this. No, you should do it. You should do anything in your life the way you want to do it. Take other people's
Exactly.
advice and their input, but you don't have to copy them. You don't have to take it and implement what they share. You gotta take the best things out of what people share with you and implement that into your own life. You don't have to do what they do. So I love that you shared that as well, because the fact that you do that, I don't, because mine was all virtual. It's just like, it's still the same thing, but it's like color coded. You just ticked off on
Yes.
my calendars. It's a bit different, but same feeling of gratification of like, okay, I done that task. I feel good today. Or, this week. So coming back to the consistency, if someone, for example, let's use a gym example because we were on that topic. If you want to go to the gym and you set yourself a goal in the beginning of the year, I want to go to the gym and my goal is not to have a six pack. I just want to get a bit more fit. And I want to be able to move my body a little bit more. I want to be a bit more flexible.
Very common that we hear a lot, right? I
Exactly.
want to lose that COVID-10. I want
Yep.
to, yeah.
Exactly. Just like I want to just lose some weight. Like I just want to be a little bit healthy. I want to start having a better diet because I've been eating crap. And so let's go. Like let's start from there. So the first thing you have to do is get your calendar out, and or whether on your phone or on your book on a journal or your actual physical calendar,
Exactly.
exactly. And then write it down in there. What days, number one, what days are you going to go to the gym? How many hours you're going to go to the gym? And what exercises are you going to do those days in the gym? Or what part of your body, for
Yes.
example, or what machine are you going to use? And then you got to hold yourself accountable. And if you can't hold yourself accountable, like most people can't, that is when you got to invest in a mentor or a coach in that field, which is why people have coaches in every field, in fitness, in life, in business, in their mental health. They have coaches in every aspect of their life, because a coach is just a guide. I always tell people, my clients, I always tell, like, I am not going to give you the answer. I'm going to help you find your own answer, because you already have the answer. I just know how to amplify the answer from within you.
Yes, I love that. That literally the name of the company, Rise Up for You. We'll get into, what it means to you later, but those us being the best versions of ourselves And then I can give and contribute after that. But me being the best version of me, and that accountability piece, so great. I was sharing with a couple of people we coach about that. I literally schedule my workouts. I tell someone I'm coming. I pay. So if I don't show up, I have to pay for that missed class. For me, that works. For me, I want somebody else to know. There was one of our members in our leadership group, and she was sharing how at night she feels bad because she's not using her app, her workout app.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, well, maybe the app is the problem, not you. If it takes so much willpower for you to get on that app and work out, and you're not, and now you're beating yourself up and shitting on yourself, maybe you want to hire a trainer, or maybe you need to go to a class that you tell your friend Becky you're going to be at, and you guys meet up there together, so you don't have to have this so much willpower. And then we don't want to shit on ourselves at all.
Mm-hmm. That honestly, that is, I love that you just brought that up as well, Lauren, because I think so many people today are just beating themselves up too much. It's that
Yes.
constant, like those limiting beliefs that they have, the self-doubt, the just beating themselves up constantly, when they just need to realize that they are doing okay. They are doing their best every day. Like I
Yeah.
always share this one thing. I said, if you can go to sleep every day at night, knowing that today I just gave my best, that is the only goal. I think if scrap all the 12-month goals, the 5-year goals, and all of that crap.
Yes.
By the way, one of the questions I really don't like, I don't know if you're going to ask me that, but I'm just going to say this because it came to me now.
All
One of the
right.
questions I really dislike is, where do you see yourself 12 months from now? And the reason why is because the truth is we just don't know. A lot of people used to ask me that, and I used to get a bit confused, and I used to answer them, but I never really used to believe in what I said to them. I just said it because it was the answer to their question, because I
Yeah.
didn't want them to feel bad. But inside I was like, no, actually, I'm the coach now that tells people to be vulnerable, to tell people to be authentic, that really helps people to be themselves. So why am I not living that as well? I'm going to be myself from now on. So if I don't like something, I'll politely tell somebody, hey, you know what? This
Yeah.
question it doesn't resonate with me. This is why. Because I don't really know where I'm going to be tomorrow, let alone 12 months from now. I have my goals. I have everything listed out, and I work on a weekly basis because I believe doing everything in a weekly kind of session lets us as human beings, as you know, we can't focus like on something for a long period of time. I find like a week is the best time period that I find for myself that works best for my productivity. So I have everything in my calendar from every hour of the day. I know exactly what I'm doing, where I'm going to be, what I'm doing. And obviously I factor in the external factors that may happen in my life that I don't have control over, which is totally okay. But that's when I don't beat myself up, right? That's when we continue going and say, okay, this happened today, no worries, we'll reschedule that for another day. It's cool, it's fine.
Absolutely. I love to ask myself, what can I do today that will make me proud? And it could be maybe not work related, maybe not task related. It could be something I'm working on for myself, is, a conversation with a friend, how I acted, how I treated my kids, how I acted myself. It doesn't always have to be accomplishment oriented, even though in the UK, in the US, we're so driven by that.
Yep.
And then also, what's something that might throw me off? What I write that every day. What's something that might come in and I'll get derailed? Maybe a person that says something, or an emotion, or anything like that. And so having that perspective, I love that you said that you want to be authentic to yourself and that you're doing that now. And where are you going to be in 12 months? I don't know. But you're going to, if that's what you're saying, if I live right now, and then right now, and then right now, in 12 months, you'll be present and you'll have
Exactly.
lived the past 12 months in the best possible version of you possible.
100%. And that's the whole goal. I think everybody watching or listening should really understand that, like really take that into account, that you don't have
Yes.
to know, you don't have to have your life figured out. None of us
Yes.
do. Lauren, you know this, right? We just don't. We don't know what's going to happen a year from now. We don't have life
No,
figured out. Nobody in the world knew there's going to be a pandemic in 2020. Nobody.
no.
Nobody knew this. We just suddenly happened is the best example to use right now. What happened? We adapted, we changed, we grew, we did so many things differently. We went completely from an offline world to completely online. We had people from the boomer generation that never used a laptop, forced to use a laptop. Like, so people can learn, people can grow, people can adapt to situations and accommodate to what's happening around us in that situation. But I believe like every single one of us have a purpose that we must find, that's really truly deeply within us. And only the reason why I said earlier on, talked about authenticity, is because I believe when you really know what you want to do in your life, or you're doing what you really love, then you can just be yourself, because you no longer care about what people think. You no longer, those opinions of other people don't matter to you, because you're just doing what you love every day. You just, you know yourself better than anyone else around you. And so you're just doing you every day. You're doing what you know is keeping you content and fulfilled and happy. And that's success, is having that feeling every day, present, mindful, knowing that I am doing my best. And yes, this didn't happen today, but it's okay. I'll try again tomorrow, because I'm not perfect. Nobody is.
Ah, Sadiq, I love it. Now, I know we talked about how we can find you in terms of your social platforms. Is there any particular special offer or special thing that you want to tell listeners in relationship to getting in touch with you and connecting?
So I don't think there's anything special, but I think if anybody out there is looking for some kind of a coach or a mentor in business, where they want to really take the perspective of what they're doing now and kind of 10x it, because that's what I basically do. I help people by working with their mindset, working in their business on things like personal brand, social media, psychology of sales, just things like, I never coach people on stuff I don't know. I've done this stuff for the last 6 years. And so I'm really good at it. And I know I am, because people tell me I am. I've done it for 6 years. I kind of know that this works. Don't listen to other people that telling you that, like, do it this way. Sadiq's done this. He's failed a lot in the last 6 years. And I'm still young. So trust me, I've done what I know you shouldn't do. Please just take the shortcut, which is me, and like take my love and my energy and what I've learned from the experience, and I can help you crush it. So I think if anybody wants to jump on a call, they're just happy. Like, I give anybody just jump on a call with me for free, and I give them like an hour of my time, so I can just dive deep and pretty much give them a coaching session for free for an hour. So if they can reach out to me they can find that link on any of my platforms, again in the bio, or they can just go and shoot me a message anywhere on Instagram, on LinkedIn. As I said, Coach Sadiq on every platform. So happy to be of service to anybody that wants that I can serve, basically.
So fantastic. So Coach Sadiq on all of his platforms. Again, Sadiq, if you're listening, is Sadiq. Really amazing. Well, we love to end by asking everyone on our podcast, what does Rise Up for You mean to you?
That's good. I love this. Okay, so rise up for you to me just means being the best version of you, like becoming, I should say, becoming the best version of you, like really, like something that actually, oh, that actually reminds me of something I can combine with now. Rise up for you, and something that I literally partnered with recently is a movement called B10XB, which stands for Be 10 times bolder. So
Oh,
that kind of just clicked as you said that, while I was thinking about, what can I answer? Just like, pow, these two can connect. And so, quick backstory, one of my mentors that I followed for years and years and years in personal growth, that I learned everything around psychology and sales and stuff like that. I learned everything from him, and he started a movement called B10XB, which just stands for Be 10 times bolder in your life. And so, can you imagine, Laura? Like, this is a guy that it's one of those guys, one of those people that we follow on Instagram, that we just learn, and from YouTube, that we learn and learn and learn from so many years. You would never expect him to be now your brother, your friend, your partner. Like, I actually collaborated with his movement, and he allowed me to be part of his mission and partner up with him and literally brand and rep his company, Beach and XB. And I started recently like modeling his t-shirts and his brand, and really putting the message out there of like, guys, if you want to become more confident in your life, if you want to be a better version of yourself, start becoming 10 times bolder. So I think that will really connect to rise up for you, because rise
yeah.
up for you basically just means be 10 times bolder, be a better version of yourself, really become the most authentic, vulnerable, honest version of yourself you can be, and then go and serve to the world, because everybody in the world needs to hear your story, your love, your light, your energy. People need you, and you got to just go and share that message with the world, because we've got one life, and we just can't waste it.
Yeah, absolutely. Literally rise up for you and become like it's in you. And so I love that 10xb, be 10 times bolder. What would you do if you had 10 times more courage, more boldness, more passion coming out from the authentic version of yourself? Sadiq, it's been amazing having you on today. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome, Lauren. Thank you once again for having me on the show. I'm so grateful, and keep up the amazing work you guys are doing. I'm 100% rooting for you guys to change lives and continue to do the amazing stuff that you're doing.
I love it. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
All right, take
And
care.
to all of our listeners, if you're listening or you're watching live, don't forget you can connect with us at riseupforyou.com/personal development. Download our free tools and even schedule your free strategy call. Have an amazing day. And this is Lauren Sweeney signing out from the Becoming Your Best podcast and webinar series.